Hello Saberites, Saber fans, and Saber enthusiasts on the Saber forum. This is Derek with another review. I just finished the review of the Aeon V4, which is, in my opinion, the most comfortable Saber I have so far in my hand. And after I received that as a mystery box, I wanted to try out the new Ultrasabers line of introductory sabers. So, based on the design, I really like the aesthetic of the Sentinel V5, which is what I'm coming at with you today. So as you can see, I really, just like with the Aeon V4, I really like the grooves in the bottom and the top of the hilt. They're very comfortable, they add a lot of grip, and I really don't feel like I need anything else. I don't really need wrappings or leather or anything to hold on to it. It's just great. So this is slightly longer than the Aeon V4, and I'll pull that out really quick. The Aeon V4 is just over 12 inches long, and the Sentinel V5, try to line that up, is 13¼ inches. So they're less than an inch difference, even less than ½ an inch. So they're roughly the same length, the Aeon V4 and the Sentinel V5. So I figured I'd mention that if length is a concern. Also, it has the same width. I mean, they're both MHS compatible sabers. You can see the grooves on the Sentinel V5 are much finer than on the V4, but that's not a problem. I mean, it's just kind of up to your taste. They're both very comfortable to use. They don't hurt your hands at all, which is very important to me. These choke points are interesting to compare. There's more of a gradation in the Aeon V4 compared to the Sentinel, which has a more abrupt change in the diameter. Nothing wrong, I'm just pointing these things out. And as you can see, if you go farther up, the Aeon V4 that I already reviewed, it has the guarded switch, whereas the Sentinel V5 comes standard with the AV switch, which is awesome. I think that mixes well with the overall design of the hilt. It just kind of fits with it better. And the only difference, really major, is that there's another choke point on the V4 above the switch, whereas here there's another ribbed section here on the Sentinel. And of course they both have the window emitters, with the window emitters on the Sentinel being much more pronounced. I thought this was really awesome, a really cool design that Ultrasabers did. They really outdid themselves in terms of this hilt design. I really enjoyed the ones on the V4 as well, but they're both great. But I really love the Sentinel, that's why I decided to order this one custom. So as you can see, the blade that I decided to use for the Aeon V4, which was a Consular Green, is your standard mid-grade. And I like the Ultra Edge for my Sentinel because for this one I chose to get it in Adegan Silver. I always like the color white in terms of its radiance. It's just the brightest color you can get on the spectrum, and so I like the brightness. I like the amount of light that it puts out. And I also decided to get it in Tri-Cree because if you're going to get a color for a saber, you might as well go with the Tri-Cree, unless if you want flash on class and sound. Now, I got stunt for both because I like to practice outside and I don't like to have that noise. It's kind of annoying. Plus, it uses up your battery for a long time. Nothing wrong with sound. I love it. I got a couple other that have sound, but for these particular ones, I wanted to practice, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't get sound with it. It also allows the battery to last longer, which is nice. The battery is pretty comparable on both, so I just wanted to mention that really quick, make a quick comparison. One thing of note that I wanted to note is that on the window section, I should have brought my Allen wrench. But anyways, this section under here in the window emitter, this is a separate shroud that your blade will plug into. So you can actually, when you remove the retention screw, the shroud actually comes out if you pull the screw out the entire way. If you just pull out the screw just enough to pull the blade out, then the shroud will stay in place. It's not a problem at all, I just wanted to mention that. When I got mine, there were some sharp edges on the window, so I was doing some orbits and it got into my hand a little bit. It wasn't a huge problem, but I just kind of filed it down a little bit and sanded it. Still need to do some polishing. It's a little bit scuffed, but otherwise it looks great now. And I just got some edges off for myself. I don't know if these edges, the sharp edges, were on for everybody's saber, but they were the case for mine. And since I'm primarily using it for practice, but also I want it to look great. I wanted to make sure that it felt good in my hand. So right now it feels really good. It's got the choke point there with the window section, feels really good. The choke point down here for two-handed work is great. But yeah, it feels most natural holding it here when you're spinning or doing fine motor control. So now I'll show you the blade color. Doesn't look that bright on screen, but I also have a ton of light in this room. So this is the Tri-Cree Adegan Silver again. It really shows up nicely in the window emitter, I think. So I'll turn off the lights now, give you a look at that. Now you can't see it, but it's lighting up pretty much the entire room. It looks fantastic. It just looks amazing. Make sure you use fresh batteries as well, because if it starts to dim, this edge part starts to look more gray rather than white. See if I try to show you the window emitter. Okay, and try to get a closer look on the blade. I mean, it's white, so you're not going to get a different color, but I felt like I should just show that anyway. It's a really great saber, really great. I love practicing with this. It's just like the Aeon V4. It feels pretty comfortable in my hand, although it's slightly less comfortable than the V4. The V4 is just perfect to me. But I really enjoy the aesthetics of this even more. This feels more like a saber that a Jedi would use. So, yeah, what more can I say? It's great for one-handed work too. I mean, you've got the choke points here, so you can move it around with very fine control. And it's great for two-handed work as well. Turn the light back on. So overall, I mean, this is an excellent saber. It's fantastic. It's the fact that it's on the quote-unquote budget end of the saber lineup for Ultra Sabers is even greater. I mean, it comes standard with the window emitter, which looks great, and it's got the AV switch that comes standard. So normally those would be an extra up price of at least $15 to $20 to get all those features, but they come standard with the new Sentinels and the Apprentices, etc. So if you really want those features, I'd really consider getting these ones. They're fantastic. They're also solidly built. I wanted to mention that. I mean, I got it with the standard battery configuration with this one and with the Consular. Maybe I'll compare both side by side just to show you how much brighter the Tri-Cree white or the Tri-Cree Adegan Silver is to the Consular Green. You can tell, I mean, you can see the green color in the Consular, but it's just not as brilliant as the Tri-Cree white. So I'll try this light off again to show you. I mean, they're both incredibly bright. It's the camera's struggling to pick it up, but yeah, the white is considerably, I think, considerably brighter than the green, as I would expect. But they both look fantastic. They're both great colors. They're actually probably two of my favorites. The ones in the future I'd want to try out are maybe the Arctic Blue and the Dark Violet Amethyst. Those are ones on my list. But anyways, this is kind of trailing on and on. I just want to say it's a great saber. Both of them are excellent. Again, I don't really like numbers because that just causes division. Doesn't really help you to decide whether you want to buy it or not. I hope all the details that I gave and the tour of the saber helped you to decide if this is a saber for you. But yeah, you can't go wrong. So I want to thank everybody and thank Ultra Sabers for their awesome new lineup. And I'll catch you later.